The team have just had an emergency call.
Yeah, that one, yeah. Great, thank you.
A pangolin has been confiscated from poachers. Amanda's expertise is needed to see whether it can be released back into the wild. Pangolins are the most illegally trafficked wild animal in the world. The rescue team have seen a marked increase in the number of pangolins coming in recently. All of them have suffered at the hands of wildlife traffickers.
It's just too awful, especially when you see the conditions that the pangolins come in, because they're in bags. Oftentimes they haven't even been let out, no food, no water, and they come in and they're stressed and they haven't slept. And it's amazing that some of these animals are alive. So we do the best we can with them, but it's gutting every time an animal doesn't make it because you know how much they've suffered.
To make matters worse, they're not easy animals to rehabilitate.
Okay, are we good?
Yeah.
Penguins are very difficult to look after in captive care situations. They're also highly strung, highly stressed animals, so just the smallest changes in their environment causes them a lot of stress that takes them a long time to calm down from. If this animal is healthy enough, it's in its very best interests to get straight back out there, but obviously if it is in any way compromised, we'll do what we need to and bring it back up to the centre.
Good luck.
Today's pangolin has been handed into staff at Lilongwe National Park. It's a 4-hour drive from Lilongwe. Paul, who's the head of law enforcement at Lilongwe, has been keeping an eye on the pangolin.
Hey, how's it going, Paul?
Good, good.
All right. So where's this pangolin?
Pangolin is there.
Hey, friend.
Pangolins are snatched for their scales, which are used in traditional Chinese medicines and African folk remedies. They're easily stuffed into sacks because they offer no resistance. It's likely this pangolin hasn't eaten for weeks.
So you see those maggots?
Oh, my heavens.
This is a female pangolin. There's no way she can be released. Days without food, water, or basic hygiene have left her clinging to life.
This pangolin is very weak and slow. Oh, you can tell that she's been in a sack or something for some time because she's got ulcerations on both of her wrists and inside of her feet. Also, she's breathing rapidly and deeply. It's a lot of respiratory effort, and I suspect she's got a pneumonia going on. And then she's got maggots under her scales. Do you know what? What might be a good idea? Could you take this one out just for a walk, just to see if she wants to dig and eat anything? And then once she gets done walking around, then we'll put her in the box.
Okay.
This is all I can do tonight out here in the field.
Pangolins only eat ants and termites. And they won't eat ants which are given to them, only those they hunt themselves. Amanda's hoping this one is still strong enough to forage. She is trying, but she's very weak. This pangolin needs food.
Has he eaten anything?
No.
The effort is too much for her.
Is it just laying down there?
No, he has been walking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just reach there and sleep.
Amanda needs to get her back to Lilongwe as soon as possible. The capital city is home to around 1 million people, so driving anywhere can take a while. The Wildlife Centre doesn't have the facilities to treat such a sick pangolin, so Amanda has driven straight to the LSPCA clinic on the other side of the city, where Charlotte and Tori have met her.
Tori, I'd like to see what you think of this animal and how he's doing today.
Tori has cared for many pangolins.
Pangolin is a young female. She's in a really bad way. There's wounds everywhere. She does not opening her eyes properly either, but you can tell that she's aware of everything that's going on. She's not asleep right now, but she's trying to tell us to go away. She just doesn't have the energy.
Hi, friend. I'm sorry. I know.
It's risky with her being so weak, but they decide they have to anaesthetize the pangolin.
Ugh, baby pangolin.
These shy creatures get stressed very easily.
You can see, look, just
So thin.
so thin.
Ugh. Like this should all be flat with the level of her bottom row of scales. This pangolin hasn't eaten in weeks.
The maggots are another big concern.
This animal has maggots crawling everywhere. So there's little wounds under all the scales. Basically, the skin is just, it's kind of rotting a bit. So all of this is from her being held in bags, and they don't have any access to water. They don't have any access to food, hence the horrible thin condition. They're in their own, they're in their own urine and feces. And so then when you have any type of open wounds, you're gonna get maggots.
They're removing as many maggots as possible. But it's a big job as they're under most of her scales.
Every time you lift a scale, there's a little pocket.
The maggots can cause serious tissue damage, but are also a sign that there might be much greater underlying health problems.
For whatever it's worth, every single pangolin is a learning experience, and it's kind of like, sadly, it's a learning experience, but I learn something new every single time I deal with one of these animals. And it's because generally in the literature, there is hardly anything.
While she's still under anaesthetic, they're giving her some liquid nutrition through a feeding tube. They only do this in extreme cases when pangolins are so sick they can't forage for ants. Hopefully it will be enough to save this pangolin, but it may well be too late.
A lot has happened to her over the last, however many weeks. Now the most important thing we can do for this girl is get her home and in a box and let her have an extended period of uninterrupted sleep.
Back at the team's base in Lilongwe, the animal care team are doing their morning rounds, checking up on the welfare of all the animals at the centre. They've made a painful discovery. The pangolin they tried so hard to save has lost its fight.
This morning we came in to do our regular checks on the pangolins, so we check them every morning just to make sure that they've been okay during the night. And unfortunately we did find that our worst fears were confirmed. Pangolins are one of those cases that kind of brings everything else to a stop. When we get these animals in, we're already so far behind the 8 ball that trying to get these guys back up on their feet is incredibly difficult. When they do die, it's devastating, and the whole team feels it. At the end of the day, we have 200 other animals on site at the moment. The team will take a moment, we'll look out for each other, and then, we'll keep going and we'll keep fighting like we do every day.
Hey Love Nature fans, be sure to like and subscribe to catch all our wild animal stories. Get closer to nature right here on YouTube.